Guys, the mistake that hurts people the most is, hey you SEO pros, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be taking a look at what are the top mistakes that people are making when doing keyword research and what you can do to avoid them. So if you're new here, my name is Jaume. I'm head of SEO at a startup here in Barcelona. And in this channel, we cover tools and strategies to help you grow your online business. So guys, at number one of the most common mistakes that I see people making is only thinking about the search volume behind keywords. So search volume is not everything. I understand how easy it is to get obsessed with it because we can think about all the potential traffic that could come in, but oftentimes this search volume figure can give us a wrong idea of what's actually happening in that keyword. So if we take a look at Ahrefs, I've put in the keyword research, and here's what we see. So we see that the keyword difficulty is really hard. What we're actually interested in is the volume. So here we are, it's telling us that we have 5.6 thousand monthly searches, and we see the different variation throughout different time periods, but Ahrefs does a really good job at giving us an actual breakdown of what's going on with the search volume. So even though the volume is 5.6, the actual clicks are only 4.8, right? So searches without clicks, we have 24% of those searches aren't getting any clicks, 12% are going to paid, there's 10% that's being shared between paid and organic, and only 54% of the actual volume that's predicted is turning into an organic click. So we can't obsess with search volume because oftentimes it doesn't paint a very accurate picture, and we need to remember that most of the time, the higher the search volume, the more competitive it is. Okay, so we can't be obsessed with just search volume. There's a lot of different things that we need to evaluate when we're picking a keyword. A second mistake that I see often in keyword research is that people don't look at the keyword difficulty and the competitors for that specific keyword. So we need to go in and we need to check the SERPs for each keyword that we're looking at, and we need to see exactly who's ranking. We need to ask ourselves a few questions before we go out and we target that keyword. So who's ranking for this specific keyword? How are they ranking? Do they have a lot of links? Does this website have a lot of authority? So are we competing with a lot of big names in the industry? We need to go out and we need to see these things. So we need to consider not only the search volume, but we also need to realize the difficulty of that specific keyword and our competitors, who's competing and why. So a lot of people don't take this into account, and what they do is they strictly look at the search volume. They say, okay, I can go out, I can get this much traffic, this is great, but they don't consider that it's gonna be extremely hard because there's a lot of really tough competitors out there. The third mistake that I see really often is not considering topical relevance. So topical relevance is becoming more and more important these days in SEO, and it's even more important for really competitive keywords. So Google oftentimes will prefer someone that is more topically relevant in a specific keyword over someone who isn't. So to look at an example, let's say I have a cooking website. I talk about different recipes and different foods, but I don't actually go into a specific niche. I'm a general cooking website, and I'm trying to rank for some keyword related to muffins. So how to bake the best muffins, or how to bake muffins, something along those lines. If there is a smaller competitor that maybe has less authority than me, but it might be way more relevant to that specific keyword because they've taken over that specific topic, right? So maybe they've written a bunch of articles relating to muffins, and so they are probably extremely relevant for that main keyword. They might overtake me for that specific keyword. So topical relevance is super important, and when we're going out and looking at keywords, we can't forget about what is the main topic that this keyword falls under, and what other keywords should we be targeting if we want to take over this topic. So we need to start considering that and not just think of keywords, also think of topics. The fourth mistake that I see really often, and this one hurts quite a bit, is ignoring the long tail. So again, when people are getting into SEO and they start doing keyword research, all they want to do is get traffic, and so they're going after the keywords that have the most volume and they're bringing the most traffic, but that's often a mistake because especially if you're a new website, it's going to be really hard for you to rank and compete against websites that have a lot of authority, that are really topically relevant for that specific keyword. So what is the long tail? So long tail keywords are just keywords with lower search volume. It actually has nothing to do with how long or how short the actual keyword is. It's more related to the actual volume. So if we look at a search demand graph that I'm going to put up right here, on the y-axis we have search volume, and on the x-axis we have the number of keywords. So what we see here is that there's going to be a few keywords that are bringing a lot of volume. However, there's also going to be a lot of keywords that are bringing in a smaller chunk of volume, but still a meaningful part of traffic. Oftentimes these longer tail keywords are easier to rank for, and they might be easier to compete on. And so if we're a new website and if we're brand new to the SERPs, it makes a lot of sense for us to go out and start targeting those keywords. It also helps us with our relevance if we start to rank for a longer tail keyword and we start to get traffic for something in that niche. So guys, ignoring the long tail is a huge mistake because we're missing out on a lot of traffic. Guys, the mistake that hurts people the most is not thinking about user intent. So user intent is acknowledging what that user actually wants to do, or what's the objective that the user is trying to fulfill when they put in that keyword in the search bar. So are they looking for information? Are they looking to buy something? Are they looking to compare something, right? We need to take the user intent into account and create content for that intent. So oftentimes people don't realize the intent and they'll create incorrect content for that specific keyword. So if we go back to the last cooking example, if someone is looking for information on how to bake a muffin, the user is most likely looking for a recipe, a guide, a step-by-step to help them in their process of baking. And so if I went out and I created a landing page with products that might be relevant to that keyword, so baking items and stand mixers and all these type of things, it wouldn't rank as well because the user at the end of the day is looking for information. They're looking to read or maybe to watch a video on how to bake these muffins. They're not very interested on buying anything at that exact moment. So we need to take the user intent into account, and we need to make sure that the content that we're creating and the content that we're showing the user is one that matches that intent. So we need to go out and we need to look into the SERPs when we're doing keyword research, and we need to see what type of content are our competitors making. Are they making long form content? Are they ranking with a landing page that has a bunch of products? We need to go out and do this research and make sure that we're matching that intent. And guys, lastly, as a pro tip, guys, I really recommend when you're going out, when you're doing keyword research, using your keyword research tools, take a look at the questions that also have some type of traffic. Oftentimes, this will give you an idea of the type of intent that users will have in relation to that specific keyword. And also, it might provide some long tail keywords that could be targeted easily and quickly with some content. So that's it, guys. We've covered the most important keyword research mistakes that I see out there. Keyword research isn't easy. It's something that takes a long time, but once you've got it down, it can be really valuable to find those keyword nuggets that give a lot of value and a lot of traffic. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys learned something. As always, I've added my LinkedIn in the description for you guys to message me personally. Like, subscribe, do the thing. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.